and the counselor can never be wrong in your sight, then don't you see that you give them too much power? You give them so much power that if they disapprove and you start to have the interpersonal conflict, you might end up doing something silly. You might end up doing something silly. Let me move on. So that was step 2. Step 3, to manage our emotions, we need to face our feelings. And what do I mean by that? In other words, we need to, in a real way, understand that our feelings are here. They are here to stay. We need to recognize and acknowledge that and identify what the feelings are. I gave you a list of feelings earlier, almost from A to Z. But so first we need to acknowledge that I am having this particular feeling. Then after that, I need to accept that my feelings are real. They are real. Now, just because the feelings feel real, it does not mean that the feelings are accurate or they came from a place. Your interpretation of your situation was accurate. You had the correct data to draw your conclusion about your feelings. And to go back to what Brother Grinnell was stating, maybe people's motives were in the right place. And you didn't even recognize that their motives were in the right place. And so you drew the wrong conclusion. They were genuinely trying to help, but instead, you rejected their help because of what you were reading or not reading, for that matter. But it does not it does not replace the fact that it does not replace the reality in relation to the feeling that you're having now, even if it came from a biased place, even if it came from a biased place. And this is why we need to first and foremost get an understanding as to why I'm having this feeling. Where is this feeling coming from? Because if we don't do that, then we might find ourselves reacting to a feeling, or reacting to a feeling that really and truly is only going to put us into more trouble, so to speak. So step 4, to manage, let me see how much time I have. Okay, we can go through this one. To manage our emotions, we need to validate the feeling. So not only must we face the feeling, but let me start over. Not only must we understand that there are some things we can control, and we must understand that there are some things that we should not seek to control in others, but we must also face our feelings. We have to understand where our feelings are coming from. Then the next thing we must do with our feelings is to validate it. We need to validate our feelings. And let me tell you why. Because it's your one. It belongs to you. It is happening to you. Oftentimes, people who do not want to validate your feeling will say things to you like, so that you're going so over. So they minimize the fact that you are reacting to a particular pain. So that you're going so over. You don't need to go on so man. You're overreact. And so information like those oftentimes put people into a place where sometimes, and I'm not saying that there are not times in which people overreact, but I'm also saying that just because you say that they are overreacting, or that's your interpretation of what is happening to them, they have a place to deal with their feeling. They have to decide whether or not I am going to own this feeling. They have to decide, what am I going to do with this feeling? And not because you said these are the choices they must make in relation to their feelings. Sometimes people might say things to you. You might go to folks and get a say a raise and I soon come to you. where you go to folks and you might bounce off something on them. And when them finish with you, man, you feel bad because of the way you felt. You feel bad because of the way you felt. To the point where in your mind, me I never go back and share nothing with you again. Me never go share. So it's not that they were looking for you to agree with them, but maybe their feelings were not validated. And so, folks, I'm kind of saying, don't go to people to get your feelings validated. And that's another mistake we make in not being able to manage our emotions. We keep on go to people with our feelings for them to either hush it or crush it. Write that down. Hush it or crush it. Okay, Romain, I see your hand. I don't know if he's talking about validate. I hope I get to come back to this. Go ahead, Romain.
Is there any scientific or medical reason why men feel they must always be in control? It's just a feeling.
It's a valid question, because a lot of men feel like they must be in control. There may be the amount of testosterone. So we're talking about chemicals now.
Right.
So it might be akin to the amount of testosterone. One, it also might be akin to how they were nurtured, or feel that they are more important. You know, so it's me bringing the bacon, it's me do this, it's me do that. And so so rather than finding equality, it might be a misunderstanding as far as biblical interpretation is concerned. So I'm just saying these are some possible three reasons as to why a man might come out feeling like, listen, I am in charge. When I talk to you, listen. You don't have a say in the matter, and you know, and such like. So that is the answer I'm going to put forth.
Brother Andre?
Yes, sir.
Brilliant answer. Yeah, that's part of it. I suppose it starts back with the hunting thing, that I am the one that go out and, you know, kill the animal and bring food in and so on. But I mic'd up because I want to make it clear that let us not question or miss the point that they have some extremely dominant, controlling women. It's not gender. It's not just a gender thing. It's more like a behavioral preference or a style. It's a, you know, your orientation, your worldview, if you want. So yeah, there's no question. We do a lot of behavioral analysis and assessments, and believe me, wanting to be in charge and control is not a male domain alone.
Excellent point. So I hope we answered your question, Jermaine.
Romain,
sorry.
Okay. Yes, you did. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Now watch this, because how much time I have. All right, let me just finish this out and then stop, so that folks will, you know, still get a chance to answer some more questions. So we're saying here, folks, that it is your feeling, and I am encouraging folks to learn to manage their own feelings, as against feel like they need that, like they what need, and the key term here is need, that they need your advice and need your input, or need your okay for them to feel better. I am saying here, you need to first start on validating your feeling. Now, how do you do that? First, we're saying you have to own your feeling. It is not another. So no projection, no defense mechanism. Just say, hey, I am having this feeling. This is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling angry. That's what I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling angry. We're not saying you must say, so validation is not saying, okay, again, you're going to point fingers on people as to why you feel angry. No, no. It is say, I'm feeling angry. No, I need to get to the bottom as to why I'm feeling this. So it's very close to you're facing the feeling first. Then because you need to understand now where this feeling is coming from. So then you need to know, validate the feeling. Affirm your permission as a human being to feel your emotions, not act them out. Remember when I said earlier that all of our emotions, we have an attending reaction to them? Now, the first thing we want to do in validating our feeling is to recognize that, listen, I am not going to put any action to this feeling until I understand why I'm having this feeling. Write that down, folks. I am not going to put any action towards this feeling until I understand why it is I'm having this feeling. Feelings become a moral issue, folks, if we nurture them into destructive attitudes or let them out. In other words, if you don't show it, no one can know it. Write that down. If you don't show it, no one can know it. So in other words, you can have a feeling, but it doesn't become a moral issue because nobody knows what you're feeling. But the same feeling become a moral issue. Why? Because you now nurture that feeling into a destructive attitude. And it is and it is manifested in what you do. Hence, you let it out. So now somebody can say, oh, so you think, but wait, you're bitter, man, because only a bitter person could have done something like this. Get it? Can you imagine you bitter and nobody know? But the only way they can know, of course, God knows and you know. But I'm saying the other person can't know, again, unless you manifest it in some way, form, or fashion. So we're saying here, what you must do, you must not only feel the emotions, invalidating your emotions, but you must do so before you put action to them, before you act them out. Let me finish this first, Roman. Also, check out to see if the intensity of the feeling is appropriate to the person or the situation. That's how you get validated, you know. That's how you're going to kind of okay it and say, yeah, man, that feeling I have. So if somebody say, I saw you're going, that you're going so over, you can say, yeah, man, that you're going so over, yeah. Yeah, man, trust me, this is the right amount or better still, the appropriate response to what is happening to me. Yeah, man, trust me, yeah, man. Yeah, man, I cry. There's a good reason why I cry. Trust me, yeah, man. I don't need to explain to you why I cry, actually. But anyways, I'm just saying yes. Now that you're bald for, yes, this is why I'm balding. But you have a responsibility to check out to see if the intensity of the feeling is appropriate to the person or to the situation. Because the truth be told, sometimes we can truly overreact. The validating now takes away to some extent. To some extent, there are other things that we must do too, but to some extent, it takes away the overreaction. To a large extent, actually, it takes away the overreaction. See there? Overactions are a sign that feelings are related to what? Accumulation of reactions to past persons or situations or needs that are unprocessed. When you validate your feeling, it is a mechanism you're utilizing to process that feeling. If you do not find out if the intensity of your feeling is appropriate to the person or the situation, if you don't check that out, folks, then you are going to have an accumulation of those feelings, not even recognizing why or where those feelings are coming from. To the point now that even even somebody blow upon you, you're going to overreact. The saying that says the straw that breaks the camel back, the reason why the camel back broke is because we had too many unprocessed feelings. And we did not stop to do what? To validate those feelings. Now, do not confuse intensity of feelings with loss of control. Feelings make sense when we understand what need and expectations, or expectation rather, is unmet. So we need to find and say, oh, and that's why I feel so. The rain wet up my clothes, I never wanted to wet, come just wash. And that's why I feel so. So now you understand, you're able to measure now the incident in relation to why you are reacting this particular way or having a particular feeling. And that's why I feel so. So you know where it is coming from. So now you're in a better position now to say, to find out if you need to continue to feel that way or to start to lower the intensity of your feelings. I hope and trust that today, you know, when we come back next 3 weeks, we'll go to what is this? We'll go to number 5, where we continue to talk about those feelings and what is it that we can or even should do with those feelings. I might have the answer already, and I might not answer you right now, but notwithstanding, let us use the rest of this time to quickly get in 1 and 2 questions, and then we'll turn it over to our admin.
Right. So, by the way, the next session is, you mentioned, is on the 19th. Okay. But so Menzies was saying parents do it all the time. I suppose that is control, or make all the decisions away from the child. Teresa was saying that is cultural. I think that is the controlling issue. Cynthia says, I think this is relation to women in charge wanting to control. And she's wanting them to let them know that it's different from being the head of the house. Deborah has an interesting one. Some women have a natural strong personality, but not necessarily wanting to be controlling. Yes, Deborah. I wonder why not. However, men are sometimes intimidated or repulsed by this personality. What should these women do? Yeah, put your foot on their neck. Oh, sorry, you're saying that they're not trying to control, right, Deborah? Okay, I like that. Go ahead, Brother Andre, you answer that.
Okay, so let me go back. Let me hear the question I got again.
Which one? All right. That you need to warn the ladies that if they're women, that if they're in, they can be strong and so on, but that they're not the head of the house. That's one. And then Deborah was saying that, yeah, women have strong personalities, yes, but they don't want to be controlling. Yeah. And then men are sometimes intimidated or repulsed by that type of woman. What should that woman do?
Okay, well, how I kind of respond to that, and I think by and large, I think we may have even discussed something like that already, but if it is the case that you do not want to be controlling, then there's 2 things, some kind of conversation is going to be need to have. 1, number 2, where the person understand your motive. If they do not understand your motive, then every action you take, you're going to be imputed. So they need to understand your motive. They need to know that they say, listen, just because just because I take a lead role, and when I use the word lead role, I'm talking about where I didn't ask you permission to spend some money, or I never ask you permission to go out, or I didn't ask you, just because I do that, please understand that to go back to the point, it is my belief. I am doing things that I have control over. Now, if whatever I'm doing that I have control over is interfering with how you function, let us have a conversation. Because the goal is not trying to control you, but is to go back in controlling what I have control over. And I do believe by and large, because we do not have that kind of conversation. This is why part of the homework, folks, is when I said, go and have a conversation with somebody and say to them, I do not have control over your, and list those 9 things that I stated and listen to what they have to say. Because I do believe that is where the conversation must begin. That you're saying, I don't have control over you where this is concerned. So guess what happened? You don't have control over me where these things are concerned. And whenever a person start to assert control over themselves where the list of 9 is concerned, then why is it problematic? Why is it problematic? I do believe it's because of how we have been schooled over the years, where we feel that we must have control over these 9 things in people. I hope I kind of answered the question.
Brilliant.
They need to be had. Okay, do we have some more in the chat? Because I see
I
Roman.
think brother, yeah, Roman.
Okay,
think
go
you're
ahead.
saying, I think that you are saying that a person has to express his or her feeling to others for them to know and truly understand.
So that was a question to me.
I think, yeah.
So what was it? So repeat the question, please.
It's not a question, brother. It's not.
It's
It's not a question. It's something I'm adding to what you said in the 3rd point there. If I don't show it, no one can know it. So I'm saying that if I don't express a feeling to others, they will not know it or truly understand their feeling towards them or another person.
Or even or a given situation. That's correct. That's
Okay. Yeah, so socialization, back to the Deborah point and the strong personality and so on, is that, again, is the socialization, is that in some cultures, we are led to feel that, the man is supposed to take the lead and in everything, almost. And so if you have somebody who is comfortable with themselves and want to determine what it is that they do in many different aspects of their lives that fall in their control, then that could be a challenge, for men who are not self-confident. That's part of it. And I think that is also a root of some of the domestic violence, because not being able to, what should I say now? To deal with it on a intellectual or relation, basic behavioral, using normal communication, normal response to things. Then they decide, okay, fine, let me use what I know that I have an advantage, which is the physical strength, and act out. So that's part of the challenge, is that, intellectually and in other areas, in terms of logic and being able to look at situations and solve problems and, make wise decisions, sometimes the men can't deal with that because of low self-esteem. So part of the problem, I think part of the answers that would go to them is what should she do? Well, you have indicated some of it, but one of the issues that we would hope is that, again, in the choice, we go right back. A lot of these things are really tied together. Is some of that might have been found out in the dating process, where the man has to decide where they go to eat, what it is that you choose to eat. So the menu, you didn't get the menu, all of those kind of things. So you have to just look at those things to see. Don't be surprised then if you get into the relationship and find that your right to make decisions are being denied, or the person feels uncomfortable or threatened by your willingness to own what is yours. All right, I think we have one last one. Mark has a raised hand.
Go ahead, Mark.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
All right, to address that question that he just raised from Deb, what if it's not a case where the man is not weak? Of course, it come across that he's saying the man might be weak. Let's say the man is also dominant, but it's always a confrontation in terms of, difference of opinion on matters, not just, controlling financing and all of that. The man controls his finance on his own, but definitely you have butted head on many different topics, how you deal with that, where it doesn't seem as if the person would be submissive or probably just tone down things. They just, keep, I would, say strong personality then to overpower how a man would feel. End of question.
Okay. Do you want to start, Brother Smith?
Okay. All right. What I found interesting about Mark's statement is that I think he meant the woman, instead of submitting, being submissive, continues to stand up strong. And I would find out, why should she? That is the question that I would ask. Why if there's a discussion, and I have no difficulty, by the way, with a relationship where there is contention. When I say contention, not in a negative way, where people communicate and they could have differences of opinion on matters and discuss them animatedly. I find that there is nothing at all wrong with that. The question is this: why should anyone back down? If I hold this opinion strongly, you hold that strongly, I'm fine. What's wrong? That's, to me, is healthy. But I don't know if I'm mistaken what Mark was saying, is that the expectation then is that the woman should ultimately submit. And I understand the head of the house and all of those things. Don't misunderstand me. But I'm not talking about hegemony, leadership. I'm talking about being able to look at areas where there is an option for me to control my views on a particular issue. And why should either party be willing to be forced to give up on that? That's my thinking.
Okay, good stuff. Let me quickly add to that and say that, what is the goal? I mean, seriously, what is the goal? Is it to win a discussion, win an argument? What is the goal? See, if you believe that the person is trying to defeat you, then you can go on the defense. If, on the other hand, they say you're coming into a conversation to find out what is the best option to achieve the goal, then nobody should. Then the idea here is not to win or to compete. If you understand what I'm saying when I use the word compete, no. It is, let me listen and see if this makes sense, because this is the goal we're seeking to achieve. This is the goal we're seeking to achieve. And I think, though, that now, does it mean that somebody might not be contentious? Yes. Maybe somebody in the relationship might just be contentious. Why? Because coming from you. Then the truth be told, then maybe you're not the person to have that conversation with them. Because you are the object of their pain. So they're not going to be listening objectively to what you have to say. So do you have those cases? Absolutely. But I'm saying, you see, can you imagine, though, if both of you were able to have the right motive in relation to the fact that we're not trying to win an argument or win a discussion or try to put down. What we're trying to do is to find out what is the best option in achieving the goal or achieving a particular objective. Then both of you don't come with your mannerism that you come with says, I'm here to learn and to find out. I'm not here to dominate. So that would be my response to that question, Mark.
Thank you very much for that response. Very good reply.
Okay. Do I have, so we have yes. Do I have any more?
One last one, and then we close off.
Okay, yeah.
So it's Beverly. Brother Andre, can you say something about managing how we express our emotions in a positive way, even if there are negative emotions like anger?
Okay, so I am saying that if you do not validate or find out where it is coming from, then the truth is, if you're not careful, you say, Beverly, you're telling yourself a lie. Just saying. If you're not careful, it's like you fake it. And while on one hand, some folks would say, yeah, I better you fake it. That is the band-aid to the issue. Faking it is the band-aid to the issue. Because you know what happened? You're still bitter. And the bitterness still eating away from you. And this is why you are going to have another conversation with somebody else about your true feelings. So I am, so I hear the faking argument, right? But I'm saying that's the band-aid. I am saying that, and remember, this is only step 4 out of 12. So we do have some more that can also lend to answering your question. But as far as facing your feelings and validating your feelings, because remember what facing the feelings speaks to, you want to find out why or where this emotion is coming from. Suppose you're able to find out. Then you don't need to fake it now, your response, because then you realize, oh, I never really need to have this feeling after all. It was, I did not have the facts in relation to this feeling. Suppose, you know, how much time this we have a particular feeling and we go and confront someone and say, me here say you say this, I'm here say you do this. And the person said, no, I did not say that. And this is the context in which the statement was made. And the person said, oh, okay then, yes, sorry. Because them get no the facts. And so there's no need for them to hype up themselves and behave a particular way. No, because them get the facts. I am saying here, we know where the feeling is coming from. And once we find where it is coming from, we're in a better position to have the appropriate response. If you don't do that process, then yes, you're going to find, you're going to fake it and you're going to get a plastic smile and you're going to be hypocrite and say, yeah, man, I'm good, man. Everything all right. And you only tell them that on the surface how you're good, when in truth, in fact, you're still a burn up on the inside. I don't think I answered your question, but I hope I touch on it.
All right. Thank you for joining us, sharing with us. Just want to make a few points here. For Andre, definitely, as I said, we want to, we have to revisit this and to continue as we try to help people to navigate through life. So a quick commercial break. This, sorry, wrong share. Right. Oh. Can understand that this is not my normal role. So I'm trying to get to the clear point where I give you the link and invite you to our worship service tomorrow. But I'm not seemingly able to get to that place. So it's the same link and it's the same, yeah. We start at 9 of worship and we have our Bible class at 11:15. And we also meet on a Tuesday. Here we go. So this is it, the link. Now that there are 50, it is possible that you could also join us at 77 Red Hills Road, or you can meet with us on Zoom link. The next session is 2 weeks' time. I'm looking at the 19th, and we will continue with this series. All right. So the link is in the chat as well. Right. That's it. Thank you so much. Want to share a thought with you. I know we are time, but yeah, sometimes we go over time with other areas, so it's not going to be long. Just want to tell you one of the reasons why we're doing this Nav Life series. Just look at the newspaper, or listen to the news or social media, and just ask yourself if you believe that the world, you know, is a safe place for some people. Just ask is, do we see any differences in how people are behaving as against maybe 10 years ago? I don't know how old you are, 20 years ago. Do we have a sense that there is people are challenged just navigating through life? We have some people who are maladjusted, who are really out to recover. I don't know whether it is whatever the underpinning reason, but we have a sense that there is a crisis and that some of these discussions need to take place where people can bring things out and have them discussed by persons who have worked in the area or who have insights, who can provide some kind of a guidance. And so we are just recommending that if you got some value tonight, invite somebody to come on the 19th, because the information is useful. And if you go to, it's there, St. Andrew Church of Christ.org/media, you can get recordings of all of these sessions. Let's make a difference. That's basically the message. If you got something from this, share it. Do some of what Brother Andre mentioned in terms of having conversations that may be overdue, but maybe you never thought that you should do it, or that you had the language with which to do it. But go and talk. Just say, hey, I went to this session yesterday, or last night, or last week, and I think we should have a little talk. Let's do that and see what happens. All right, thank you. That's the post-session sermon for today. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Hope to see you again.
Sorry, somebody's asking the next session. It's the same, it will be the same topic, managing emotions. And it will be going through the remainder of the 12 points. As you can see, it's interactive, so people can come with issues and have them discussed. All right?
Definitely.
All right, thank you.
Yes, and I think somebody was asking for the recording. Just let her know that the recording can be had at St. Andrew Christ or
.org/media.
Okay, St. Andrew Church of Christ.org/media. Okay. All righty, have a good one, and thanks again.
Thanks, Brother Andre. Excellent session. Excellent.
Great session.
God bless.
Really do appreciate these. I'm learning so much, and see where I've done a lot of wrong, and I don't know how to fix them now, but it's okay.
We don't Mr. Carmen.
In child, growing up with my children, sometimes I don't know.
Do you have a repeat on this message, on this teaching? I just got on, so it was late. Do you have a repeat on it?
Yes, it's going to be at St. Andrew Church of Christ.org/media.
One question. Is it June 19th or May 19th, the next session?
June.
Okay, it's the same. Yes, it's Mark. Yeah, it's the same.
Same link.
Meeting ID and password. Okay.
Everything same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Mark, I'm saying May gone already. Watch it
Oh, it's May. Oh, it's June. Oh yes.
Yeah, this is June. This is June.
Good one. Yes. Okay, June. Sorry.
All right. Can you tell me again how to get the repeat? I didn't write down what you said.
It's on the screen. Look on the screen. You see St. Andrew Church of Christ.org?
Just now.
Right.
That's-
Just put a
that's-
slash media, MEDIA.
St. Andrews. Okay, St. Andrews Church of Christ.
Not St. Andrews, St. Andrew Church
Yeah.
of Christ.org
Dot-
/media.
/media.org/media. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, somebody else put it in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Engel just put it in the chat.
Right.
All righty.
All right. Thanks.
God bless.
Take care.
Okay. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you.
God bless you.